my name is Emma from the blog themontessoritwinmama.com. Come along with me today as I share with you our Montessori home, some homemaking, and a few little organization and cleaning projects along the way. If this is content you think that you would like to see more of, please hit that subscribe button. I make one new video every week about Montessori homemaking with twins and motherhood. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up below. So one way I like to keep up on household tasks with twins is by choosing one task or an area of the home to focus on each day of the week. On this particular day, it's a Friday, and on Fridays I like to get all of the bedding changed and washed, and then make sure to vacuum and dust. Actually, in a different order, I dust first and then vacuum. I want to share with you a little bit about our Montessori floor bed. So you might be wondering why I don't have two cribs for my boys. And one Montessori concept that I was really excited to try with twins was the Montessori floor bed. So the point of a Montessori floor bed is to allow the child freedom of movement. By not having a crib, I have instead chosen to use a floor bed and then have prepared the bedroom or the Montessori nursery to be safe for our babies to explore. Another important aspect of the floor bed is that it doesn't obstruct the view of the environment. And so our boys, they are not looking through the bars of cribs. They have a view of the room as it is and as it exists. Now, I will say that a Montessori floor bed is not for every family, and you have to ensure that you can have a truly safe space for your baby to explore freely. So cribs definitely are convenient, and when we are traveling, we use a pack and play, or I'll put them down for a nap in another baby's crib. And we do this because I can't ensure that that space is prepared for them to completely explore on their own. And so the safest thing to do in those circumstances is to have them in a safe place. And so we have to be very aware when choosing to use a Montessori floor bed to assess if it is something that we can truly offer that freedom to our babies and make a safe space for them. So I'm very aware that anytime I leave them in that space, making sure that the floor is clear of any small objects, just making sure that the environment is prepared in such a way that it allows for that freedom of movement in a very true sense. Here I am just making my bed. This is a habit that I do every morning, not because someone tells me I have to or because I should, but genuinely because I want to, and I really love looking into my room throughout the day and just seeing that beautiful bed made. I find that it's really important to do the things that we know are good for ourselves, even when we don't feel like it. And these things tend to be motivation to do the next thing. Actually, when I was thinking about my idea for the blog, I started with just sitting down and writing something. And I wrote a post called "It Starts with Making Your Bed." And I was thinking about and writing about how when we start our day, making the bed is something that is an easy win for our day. It's something small that we can do that can kind of set the tone for the rest of the day. And I definitely feel this. Again, a really simple thing, but a grounding task in my morning that makes the rest of the day feel easier in some ways. Or in those days that they're just really challenging, knowing that I took 1 minute to pull my blankets up on my bed and throw my pillows back on in a nice way just shows that I did something that brings me joy and that has a positive impact on my home and brings beauty and peace to my mind as well. I am Montessori trained, and I have taught in the classroom for 5 years. Now I'm staying home with my boys, which has been so much fun. And I've begun doing Montessori at home. And what I've found is that Montessori has really shaped the way that I am a mother and a homemaker. And what I love about Montessori is that Montessori is an education for life. And so our Montessori journey with our boys started when they were born. And one of the things that I've done from very early on is take them along with me while I do all of the things in the home. Now, sometimes I definitely take advantage of the time when they're sleeping and get a few extra things done, but for the most part, I try to do my tasks when they are awake, and I just bring them along with me, tell them what I'm doing. They are getting language for all of the things that I'm doing. In the Montessori world, we like refer to talking to our baby as sports casting, where I'm basically being a sportscaster of everything that I'm doing, from saying, I'm going to take your pants off, we're going to take this leg out, and now this leg. We do this to help the baby become aware of what it is that we are doing, as well as to just respect them and honor them as a person who's an active participant in these tasks. So a lot of my day consists of just saying what I'm doing and telling them about all of the things, and this is such a great opportunity for language. One thing I appreciate a lot about Montessori and have come to understand in a better way is the importance of work, and that work is truly what us as human beings have been made to do. And obviously we are both made for work and for rest, but it is through our work that we create ourselves and that we can fulfill kind of that deeper purpose within ourselves. And so I'm very aware that when I am doing these things around the home, these things inevitably are work, but the way that I do them will be shown to my children. And I want to be a model of joyful work and the benefit of work and how good it is for us. Montessori has helped me to see that work is a beautiful thing and a necessary thing, and work is truly what makes us more normal and normalizes us. So you've seen me here just getting some dusting done, vacuuming. My boys are crawling around on the floor all of the time, and so it's just really important to me to make sure that the floors are clean. You see here this Montessori pull-up bar. I'll have to make another video about how we made that and some of the more reasons behind it, but we love this little area. They are now using it and love to see their reflection in the mirror. You can see that I have this open shelf, and I think a common thing with Montessori is people think that they need money to do the Montessori things, and I will tell you that this particular open shelf I found on the side of the road and picked it up, and it has served many purposes, but now this piece of furniture is great open shelving for displaying our Montessori materials and toys. I'm putting out a Montessori spinning drum, egg in a cup, which is kind of a beginning puzzle. A dowel with a ring on it. I also put out a book about autumn. This particular book actually doesn't have any words, it's just with pictures, which gives lots of opportunity to just describe to the baby what's going on. I also put out a few new books in a basket for them to explore. They love just being able to go and see what's on their shelves. I try to change things up every few weeks to make sure that what is available is engaging and keeping their attention. It's really important in Montessori to keep things visually ordered. And so you'll notice that when I set things up on the shelf, I'm leaving a little bit of space between the objects. And that's purposeful. It's not just because I don't have enough things to put on the shelf. Actually, by limiting how many things I'm putting out, I'm drawing greater attention to what is available. Also, by having it be open and low to the ground, they can see clearly what's available for them to use. And I find this really beneficial because they can be on the other side of the room and maybe they look up and see something and they move towards it. If we hide all of our things in baskets and containers, it's not going to be as appealing to them. And so we want our shelves to look beautiful. And beautiful doesn't mean expensive. Beautiful can mean you get a small little basket that's open on the top and you take a few objects from your kitchen and put them in there. I'll take a whisk and a spatula and a measuring cup and put them in a basket, and they love to explore things like that. So we have one other area in our living room downstairs where I have another open shelf, and I put about 4 to 6 objects in this area for them to explore, as well as we have a bookshelf with some books on it, and they love to take all of those books off of the shelf, which is wonderful. So I'm just going through wiping and dusting. This is important actually. I find that they climb into those little cubbies and sometimes they drool or spit up, and it definitely needs a good wipe down once a week. And so I like to do that on Fridays as well. I like to get all of the wiping down and dusting done before vacuuming naturally so that it falls to the ground and then I can vacuum it all up. Now at this time the boys are napping, and so I can vacuum without them around, but most of the time I actually do vacuum with them, and they love to chase the vacuum around and follow me. They find it very fascinating. Actually, a little bit later when I'm vacuuming their bedroom, they definitely are around for the process. I'm going in to organize their clothing. I hang things up on hangers, and I know that might seem unnecessary, but for me it's actually easier than folding all of the little clothes, and I just like the cute little hangers. So we have their Montessori wardrobe, and this wardrobe is an IKEA hack. We got one of the Calyx IKEA cubes, and when we assembled it, I didn't put in all of the shelving units. I left one side open, and then we got these drawer inserts for the left side, and that has worked out really well. I also then used a tension rod on the right side for hanging. I've also sometimes had like a little basket on the right hand side on the bottom there, which has been handy. They're not at the point yet where they're making their own choices of what they're gonna wear, but it just gives that precursor to them having independence when it comes to choosing their clothes. Really clear when I'm speaking about Montessori. I think sometimes it can get this impression that Montessori, if you know anything about Montessori, maybe you've heard children can do whatever they want, or they have freedom to choose. And that's true to an extent. We want to offer our children freedom. However, that freedom comes with limits. And so you'll notice the size of this wardrobe is small. Once they are to a point where they're actually able to make a choice and have those stronger preferences, I might only have 2 or 3 shirts in their wardrobe, and those will be the options. Now, this is important because I'm not going to put out summer clothes during the winter. And so the question isn't, what do you want to wear? And then I could have a child who says they want to wear shorts when it's 10 degrees out. Instead, the question is, do you want this or this? And what's available are their options. And so they do have total freedom to make those choices because the environment has been prepared for them to choose successfully. And this takes more work on the adult to prepare the environment for them to have that freedom. But in the end, I do think that it creates a more organic and encouraging experience for the child. Now, we won't always be able to offer choices, but whenever we can, we should, because it will help that child to feel like they have these moments of control and of power. And we want them to have that so that they start to see the impact on their environment. So I mentioned earlier that I was trained as a Montessori guide. So I went to training for 3 summers. It was an intensive training, and I learned how to practice Montessori in the classroom. And so naturally, all of these Montessori principles have influenced how I operate in my home. Montessori is reflected in the way that I'm a mother and a homemaker. And so on my channel, I will be talking about and creating one new video each week on Montessori homemaking and motherhood. And I really want to take you along with me and share with you how Montessori influences our home environment, as well as the things that we're doing with our twins. I hope that this inspires you on your journey, as well as offers some great Montessori tidbits throughout. I would love if you would hit that subscribe button to continue to follow along on our Montessori at home journey with twins. Thanks for watching and stopping by our Montessori home.